Hey y'all, I'm Ebony Capri.
What's up, everybody? This is J.R. Simon.
Hey y'all, this is Hope Cherie.
What's up? My name is Marvelous Marissa.
What's up? This is Antonio Neal, and this is Let's Take a Walk.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and we are on another episode of Let's Take a Walk. I hope everybody had a great week. I did, and even if you didn't, praise God, we're all still here. We made it. We made it through another week. Tonight we have another awesome guest. Her name is Demetrius Meedy Jackson, better known as Meedy. She's a hairstylist, an entrepreneur, a hustler, X degree. She's definitely a friend, a sister. We're gonna sit down and chop it up with her, and just see, what drives her and moves her to do everything that she does. And we're gonna hear a little bit about her movement and a lot more. All right. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring her on. You want Meedy? Where you at? I don't see you on here. Try if you can if you're seeing this, try logging off and then log back on. But like I said, I hope everybody had a great awesome week. Um, I don't know where some of you are, but I'm in Virginia, and the weather here has been super wet and rainy and super cold. But at least I'm not in Texas. Shout out to everybody that's out there in Texas trying to keep it together. My sister Latoya, my sister Tammy's out there, praying for y'all. Be safe, stay warm. You know what I'm saying, and do what you got to do to take care of your families. You're in our prayers, absolutely. I think she's made it on now.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you
What's
see
going
me?
on?
Can you see me?
Yes. Yes.
All right, that's what's up. How I look? I look good. I'm looking real good. I'm looking.
As
How I'm looking?
always,
How I'm looking? How I'm looking? How I'm looking?
you dripping.
Woo!
You real swaggy right now.
Ah,
You real
that's what's
lit. You
up.
real
That's
nice.
what's up. That's what's up.
Uh,
Congratulations on your podcast. Doing
Thank
big
you. I
things.
hear
I
you.
see.
I hear. I hear you got one coming soon too.
Yes, on March 1st. I had it before, but we'll get into that when we start. When you asking me my little question, I hope I don't nut up on here and embarrass myself a little bit. Vocabulary don't go deep, so don't be asking me no whole bunch of professional questions. Cause a chick ain't got vocabulary ain't that deep now. Might throw a little cussing here and there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to keep it professional as I can. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
Mm,
try. Don't judge me.
nah.
Don't judge me.
I won't. I won't. So like I was telling everybody, you are an entrepreneur. You are just an
Oh,
all around hustler, small business owner. Absolutely a pillar of the community. Everybody knows Meedy. Everybody
oh,
knows Silk.
wow.
Everybody
That's
knows. Everybody knows the movement.
Yeah,
Um,
we didn't dip and dive in this little state, well, this little city since we've been here. Yeah.
so so we just gonna start from the
Okay.
top. I mean, how long have you been? Let's start with the hairstyling, because that seems to be the
Well, how you
the
want to
root of
know?
everything.
Okay, you want to know when I started my business or when I started in Newport News or whatever you want. Is it where we want to
When
start
when
at?
you when you started,
Okay, well, the first salon I had was in Petersburg. I don't know if you know anything about Petersburg, but military, so you might know Fort Lee.
Yeah.
Okay, it started. I opened up in '95. I believe it's not been so long ago. It was '95 when we opened up. I was the first, and you got to get this now because this is very important. And I also made the history up in in Petersburg area, and I they do an article on Black History Month every year, and I'm also in that little catalog they have in Colonial Heights, Virginia. You ever heard of Colonial Heights, Virginia? You ever heard of that?
Absolutely.
Okay, well,
Yes.
a lot of military Fort Lee, they usually run up and down Colonial Heights because it's like where the what I'm trying to say, the mall and all that stuff is pronounced to you guys when y'all go to Fort Lee to do y'all classes and all that good stuff. So anyway, we opened a shop up. Me and a friend of mine, he was a boyfriend of mine back then, and we opened up in '94. And we were the first black hair salon, first slash first black business in Colonial Heights.
Wow.
So I became the first black person to open up a hair salon and a business in Colonial Heights. So that was very, very, very good. I was so excited, and I didn't know that until
Hmm.
the real estate agent lady told me that they was eager to give me my shot because I would have been well, I was the first black um hair salon and first black business to be opened up in Colonial Heights. So it kind of like threw me a little bit because I'm like, okay, is she giving us a try because you know we black, or and it be something that's exciting for them, or is it because we was qualified? You know what I'm saying? So I guess in that area I was qualified on both ends. I was black, for them being the first black salon, and then I was also qualified with the score and all that kind of good stuff like that. So they kind of like, wow. So I opened up and it was called Meady's Unisex back then. It was called Meedy Unisex back then in '94, '95. Then me and him end up parting our ways, and then I met your boy Silk, and actually met him in Virginia Beach in '96, and went to New York, and we dabbled a little bit in New York, and then he decided to come to Virginia, and we came back down this way in Newport News in '98, and that's where we
Okay.
located. That's how we located to Newport News, and but during that time, my shop wasn't being talked about. They was opening up Platinum Cuts, and it was with Silk and his homeboy Les, Nas DJ, and at the time, Les was touring, the states and stuff with Nas, and Sam had came down to get the business up and running and all that good stuff. So that was end of '98, and then
Hmm.
we actually moved to Newport News. Silk was already here, but I came in January of '99, and
Okay.
worked in a hair salon. In another young lady hair salon for a year, and well, a year and a half to 2 years, and then 2002. So I took a break for a minute, and then in 2002, I decided to open up my own salon, and I think that's when I met you at the salon,
Hmm.
and we named it Platinum Styles. So we already had Platinum Cuts, was the full
Right.
barbershop. So Platinum Styles supposed to have been just a beauty salon, and nails. But things shifted around a little bit, so we just let the that when we let D Train come in, and he was the first barber there that we had in the shop, and that was 2002, and
Shout out
that's
to
when I
D
met.
Train.
Yeah, D Train, shout out to D Train. Um, I met you that year when I was down there, and I held that down for 4 years when we started in 2002, and then we just kept it going. And I've been in business, moved around a little bit, different areas, but always stayed in Newport News. But we moved around, so I've been in business now for 19 years down here.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, going on 19. Well, 19 years it'd be in March. March 2nd would be 19 years I've been in since I opened up Platinum Styles, and then that came, and then been meeting all kinds of people like you yourself, your wife, and that's how we just been, and God been good, few, couple of bumps and bruises, and a little bit like all that little stuff that you expect for you to run through when you open up a business. But
Right.
I can surely say, they always said the first 5 years, if you made it through the first 5 years, then they said that your business is a success. So I guess I'm a success because I made it past the 5 year mark. But it's been hard, man. It has been very hard, dealing with people coming and going, and You don't never you can't never expect for somebody to stay with you throughout the whole time. People like to get their own, like I did. So you expect for someone to come in and work with you for a little while, and then they want to branch out and get their own. So I have met a lot of barbers and stylists along my way. Yep.
So, what made you even start doing hair? Like,
Oh wow! I guess that started when I was real young. My mom say, this is a good little story I can always use for example. People ask me that. My mom used to tell me that she used to do my hair one way, and then she said I used to go to school for my school pictures, and then she
mhm.
said she'll pay for the pictures and everything, and then she said when the pictures come back, I didn't change my whole hairstyle. So she said, "Hold up, I didn't do your hair like this. Who did your hair like this?" And she said, "I said, well, I didn't like, I did it, So she said she always knew that I would do something because I always used to change my hairstyle when I went to school. And then all my Bobby dolls had bald heads. I get a pair of scissors and cut all my cut all my Bobby dolls hair off, and then color their hair with magic markers.
Wow,
So
wow.
I guess she said I was doing that like the age of like 4 or 5 years old. So and I really did. I knew I wanted to do hair, and I took it up in high school, but I took a break from it because I didn't really know if I wanted to be a barber. I wanted to just do men
Mhm,
hair at one
mhm.
point. So I had my barber license at one time, and
Oh
then I let
wow.
my
Okay.
I had my barber license at one time, and then I let it expire, and then
Mhm.
when I realized I wanted to do both, and then I couldn't do both because I only can do men hair. I'm like, that's strange. So they said, well, you might need to go to school and just take up cosmetology, and then you can do everything. So then I said, okay, cool. So then I
Right.
took it up and been doing it ever since, man. Been rocking ever since. Yep.
So, do you find that like when people look better, they feel better. That's
Yes.
that's the saying. You know what I mean?
That
And
that
so,
that's actually really. I mean, you can answer that question. If you don't look good that day, you don't feel good.
yeah.
When you have a haircut, you don't feel. You feel a little down or whatever. So that is a true statement. When you look
So
good, you feel good. That is a true statement.
so so at this point in your career, you're
Uh
19
huh.
years in.
Hmm.
What's the
What
main
19
goal for
years
you?
in new 19 years in
It,
Newport News.
well, you've
But
been in the game for quite a
yes,
bit.
28 years.
28, okay, woo, okay,
28
28
years.
years. At this point in your career, as far as hairstyling and everything goes,
Hmm.
what's the main goal for you now? Like, what's the name of the game for you at this point? Because I
Okay,
know at
I'm
first it might have
right.
been more of a financial thing and whatever, but at this point, what is it all about for you now? What do you do? What makes you get up in the morning?
Well, what made me get up in the morning is my family, at one point, and then if I don't go, my ASS gonna be out on the street, so I gotta get up and do what I gotta do. But my main
Hmm.
priority is my family. I still have one more. I got five. We have 5 kids. I got one left in here, and she's 13. So we still gotta support her. Me and Sam, we both been self-employed for a long, long time. So I haven't worked for somebody in years. But my main priority is the family. I gotta maintain that get up and that motivation stream where I have to go. Like if I don't work, I don't get paid. You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't have no 401k. I don't have no, nobody can't pay me when I don't feel good. I still gotta go to work sometime and
Hmm.
feeling under the weather. You know what I mean? I can afford to stay out. But sometimes, myself is number one priority. But at the same time, I gotta get up and take a whole bunch of medicine and make sure, I feed myself a whole bunch of drugs to try to motivate me to get out, even when I'm not feeling good to work. Because when I don't work, I don't get paid. But the next step to answer the next question, I think you had like two, you threw two in there, didn't you? You throw me two little questions
Well,
in there.
I mean, it was kind of a loaded question.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like,
Okay. Well, now the next step is what you asked me. The next step is I
mhm.
want to have my own hair school.
Okay,
That's my
okay.
next step. I want to get my instructor's license because I'm getting a little older. I
Hmm.
can't be doing hair all my life. Where a lot
Right.
of people ain't gonna want no old ass. Oops, can we cuss?
Go ahead. Yeah, you're fine.
Don't
You're
nobody want no old ass woman doing their hair, you know.
fine.
So
Yeah.
my next step is to be an instructor and have my own beauty school. So that's actually what I'm in that stage now of trying to get that going.
So, being an entrepreneur, was that always your mission, or were you
Always.
content working for
I
somebody?
uh to be honest with you, I never really liked getting up, punching the clock for nobody. Even when I
Hmm.
had to do it at an early age, I've been a mother since I was 15. So
Okay.
I was a mother at an early age. I all to tell you this part, I lied on my McDonald's application. I put that I think you had to be 17 and work there or something like that, and I
Hmm.
was 15, and I lied
Okay.
on my McDonald's application because I had to support him, and so I
Mm.
was a mother, at 15, and I had to do what I had to do, and never really liked it. I couldn't stand getting up um with a supervisor or a manager, yelling at us, telling us, you know, to do this. It just really wasn't my drive, man. And me, you can't be yelling at me and
Right.
and and and, and you can't be doing that too much. I let you get away with a little bit, but you can't be yelling at me every 5 minutes, and you giving
Hmm.
me $5. I'm working. I fill out application to be a cashier, but then you telling me I gotta go mop the floor, I gotta go wipe the toilets down. No, I ain't with all that. So that one
Right.
I didn't really like that. Ever since I was a young, and I'm like, some gotta give. So I started working in my aunt beauty salon, as being a shampoo girl, and
Hmm.
just sitting around watching her and all her stylists and getting that cash on money. They getting money like
Hmm.
cash, like they
Hmm.
breaking bread, like coming out with 800,000 a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
Bump working behind this cash register getting $5 out. I want to do this, and it runs in my family. It's like a
Right.
lot of women in my family and men in my family. If we're not doing hair, we're cutting men hair. So it runs deep in our blood,
Hmm.
to believe it or not. It runs. I have a lot of cousins and a lot of aunts and uncles. If we only would just get together and do, like, I always wanted to have a big or buy a big building and put my family in that building. It'd be like a family, you know, business,
Hmm.
trying to get everybody to go in there and work, but I could never get, everybody on their own thing. Just like
Hmm.
any other family, you got people that want to tear you down. They don't
Right.
want to, they don't see they don't see what you see.
Right.
They don't, they feel like if they help you, then it's not helping them. You know what I'm saying? I was
Right.
trying to do it, so we all can eat. You know what I mean? Have a family
Hmm.
business, but sometimes family, they don't look. People in general, they don't look at it that way. They looking at, if they come on board, they helping you out, and
Right.
so it never worked out. I had a business back home, and like I said, in Petersburg, where I had cousins and that did hair and cut hair and working for other people. And I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, I'm about to open up a shop. Y'all, come on board with me. No,
I
it didn't.
I
They didn't want to
I
do that. And
right.
and it's all good. People want to do what they want. I just had bigger and better things, and my vision was
Mhm.
always big. And I'm a spiritual person, and God speaks to me in my dreams. So if I see
Mhm.
something, then I'll try to do it, or I'll go out and and motivate
Right.
myself to do it. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Um, I tell people all the time, like I grew up with just my mom. You know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
from New York too,
Right.
but I'm from upstate New York. But
Okay.
I grew up with just my mom or whatever, and I never my family. I guess at that time, I don't know. I guess the idea was that you go to school, you can try to get good grades, and you go to
Uh
college,
huh.
and then you get out and try to get a good job.
All right.
Nobody ever really schooled me and told me, hey, you can own your own. You can put your name
Right.
on something, and people would actually um, want to get
Support
it.
you.
Like if I
Yeah.
right,
Support
you,
you.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And so
Right.
so when I see like people like yourself and some of the other small business owners that I've had on on the show, it really does me good, and it's really inspiring, which is why one of the main reasons that I had you on, because I
Okay.
think that we have to show the people, the kids that are coming up behind us, the youth that are coming up behind us, that there are alternatives to doing illegal things
Right.
and quick, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
then
No.
there
No.
are
No. Yeah.
alternatives.
Definitely understand. Yes.
So
Yes.
so it's important that I have, this show. I try to
hmm
have on as many people in
And I
that vein as I
appreciate it.
can.
And I appreciate you a lot. Yes. Yeah. I
So
appreciate.
with that being
But see, Mike,
said,
I don't know
uh,
what you got yourself into. You might not really know what you got yourself into because when you got me, as the individual, my story is long. I don't know how long your story is, and I don't know how deep you want to go, but I can get to some damn nitty gritty, man. It ain't always, I didn't been through some things, as a child,
mm,
so I don't know how deep you want to dig into. So keep on asking. I'm just
well,
waiting to see what these questions about because I can get deep now
it's
because you know. I'm just gonna
it's
go ahead
a
and shut up
it's
and
a
let you talk.
okay. This is it's an hour show, so I'm gonna
Okay.
just try to
Well, I
try
need
to
to get my
get this to
plug.
them.
I need to get my charger too, so I'm gonna move around. But I'm listening. I'm gonna get my charger. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. But like I said, a lot of kids, a lot of people, even
Mhm.
adults are like me. You know what I'm saying? They weren't really taught that you could um get your own. You could build your own business from the ground up. You can
I'm sorry. I'm
do
listening. I got
t-shirts. You can
right,
you can
right,
do t-shirts or do hair, or what I'm saying, own a restaurant or whatever, a food
right.
truck, whatever you want to do. Because we were taught just to work, work, work until you die.
Mm.
Um, how important is it to you now? Does it ever stick in your mind that you are a woman of color doing what you're doing, or do you feel like you're just somebody who had the mind to do what you're doing, or are you aware that you're black doing this, or
All
do you feel
above.
like you're just
All
you,
above.
or do you?
All above. All above. Everything you just said. All above. All above.
So why is that? Why? And this is gonna sound like a dumb question, but why is
No,
that
go ahead.
important to you?
Well, it's important to me because we have a young black children,
Hmm.
looking up, you know, looking up to us. Our children as well. They look up to us. We already, got strikes against us being born black. So,
Hmm.
and it's crazy because when you go to hair school, they don't teach you how to do black hair.
Mm,
They teach you
okay.
how to do, they teach you how to do white hair,
Wow.
you know,
Okay.
and and to me, I want to try to change that because it's not just white, it's not Caucasian. It's not
Hmm.
just Caucasians getting their hair done. It's not Asians just getting their hair done. It's not, Hispanics, Latinos, and Latinas that's getting their hair done. You really have, you know, brown skinned women and brown skinned men that has coarse and nappy hair.
Hmm.
And, you know, they don't teach you that in hair school. So my thing is, doing hair is a gift. It's an art.
Right.
Now I know plenty of people that knows the book, but they can't do hair. They can teach you all day long how to do hair, but they can't show you or demonstrate on a person's actual head and do it. And that
Hmm.
was my problem. My problem was I wasn't a good test taker. I used to nut up when I take a test. And I
Hmm.
just get real poor test scores, all the time. Forget everything I did read the night before. So it was I had really struggled because cosmetology school is very hard. Well, it was hard for
Hmm.
me, and other
Right.
people that I had spoke to. It's not easy. So getting back into, they don't teach you how to do black hair. When they sit you down, they give you your kit. Um, It's a Caucasian dummy, you know,
Mhm.
the long straight hair, and and you could tell she's a white woman, you know.
Right.
And then just the studies and how the book goes is just showing you how to do all the pictures, all the demonstrations are in they are white. They white people.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it was up to you to go out and learn how to do black hair on your own because
Right.
you was not doing that while you was in school. But now as you graduated out the classroom and you get into the floor and meaning that out the classroom and graduating and getting on the floor mean that now you got the public is coming in to the school
Mhm.
and you actually
Mhm.
doing the public hair. So now you will
Yeah.
get the little, the little black older ladies, you know, the black people will ace it out, but the little white girls will stray away from doing the little black, ladies' hair because they won't know what to
Mhm.
do with it. Because now it's curly, it's matted. They looking at the teacher like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? But us, black people, we could do both. I could do the white people, I can do the black people. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
pretty much, right. So they teaching us how to do white hair, but they don't understanding we already know how to do black hair because pretty much if you in hair school, they mean that you have a drive or you have a gift already. You just need your
Right.
papers. You just need your papers. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You just need your papers. So
Right.
they didn't understand that. So we looking at our instructor like, okay, I get it. They gonna want us.
Mhm.
They teaching us how to do white people hair. So now let me sit you down and see can you show me how to do somebody black? Because nine times
Right.
out of 10, when I was in school, it was a white instructor. We didn't
Mhm.
have that many black instructors. Not saying they wasn't out there, but it wasn't that many when I was going to cosmetology, beauty school. And like Petersburg,
Mhm.
when I was going to school in cosmetology school, they only had one. It was only one school. It was called Flair Beauty Academy,
Mhm.
and that's when you saw. I think they had like a handful. I can count on one hand how many black instructors there was, and it all depends on what time you was going there. They had a morning class and I think they had an evening class.
Mhm.
So and Flair was a black woman, so that was good. But
Wow.
so that was yeah, she was a black woman. Her name, it was called Flair Beauty School. But no, they didn't show you how to do black hair. Either you knew how to do it already on your own, or you have to learn how to do that when you graduated from school, and then you out in the real world and you then got into a hair salon and you learn. But see, the advantage that I have, you know, I call her my aunt, but she was actually my cousin. She had a beauty salon. So when I was a little girl, I used to go there with my grandmother,
Mhm.
and I used to sit there with my grandmother and watch, you know, her
Mhm.
and the other stylists and my cousins and stuff do hair, and then that's what motivated me. And she was my entrepreneur. Like I loved her dearly. Like when I had questions about color until today, she died. She died last year. She died of July of last year. To the day she died, if I get stuck on something, I always used to call her and be like, Auntie, I'm doing so and so and so. What's the best way to do this? Or what do you think I should do? Or, and she would walk me through it. She was like one of the best that I know. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knew her in Richmond and Petersburg area. So she was like the best. You know what I mean? She was very, very well known and she was wonderful at what she did. So that's my goal. My goal is to keep her name going. And then I always did talk to her about opening up a beauty school. And she always told me, and she told me she had a dream that I had it. So that's something that I really want to do. And I want to try to change it. I want to see if I'm able to change it. I'm not sure. I don't know the steps and what I have to do and who I need to, to to get behind me and help me make this work. But we need to teach the people that go into school how to do black hair as well. Because the book is
Mhm.
strictly only thing they have that's in common with black hair, I want to say is coloring, I think, of course. Cut
Mhm.
is a little bit and relaxers and finger
Wow.
waves and finger waves. And but they don't really teach you, how to actually do black people hair. Because if you go to a white salon, all white salon right now, they look at you like you're crazy.
Right.
They will look at you like you're crazy. I'm for real. And but then you got some like where my salon is located at. I'm beside white be, between two white businesses, Gus
Hmm.
Pizza and the dog shampoo dog grooming. So it ain't number a lot of Caucasians going in the dog grooming place and they'll mistake me for the dog grooming and they'll walk in and you can see them at that look on their face like like I'm in
Let
the
me get
wrong
out of
spot.
here. It's too many.
Exactly, exactly. But we'll be like, hi, how can I help you? What do you need the other day? They say, do y'all do I don't know if I should say this. Might say what? Do y'all do white hair? They'll say, I'm like, baby, we do, if you got whatever kind of hair you have on your head, we do all types of hair. And then
Right.
they'll come in, okay, well, maybe I'll come back. They don't know how to take it.
Right.
They
Right.
will actually, they'll see platinum styles in the yellow pages or the phone book or on the internet or they Google it up and they'll
Hmm.
come and once they get in there, they'll see this is not what I thought. So they are not able to some will stay just to play it off, and they
Hmm.
end up liking it, but some will be like they in the wrong spot. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I know that in your years of doing hair, you
Hmm.
probably have to wear a lot of hats. What I mean by that is like when you're doing a person's hair, kind of like I see it with like barbers, I see it
Hmm.
with like bartenders. So I'm sure
Uh-huh.
it's like with you too. You have to play the role of like a counselor, psychologist,
Yes.
doctor, all of
Yes.
that. You know what I'm
All
saying? And
that. Oh my
do you
God.
find
You
is
see
is
yourself.
that a daily?
Oh, yes. You see yourself answering questions that they'll tell you, they'll get in the chair and they'll talk about their, man, I caught my husband cheating on me, or,
Hmm.
I don't know what to do. Or it might be, I have witnessed one time in my shop where I was doing somebody hair and the girl that her husband was cheating on her with, the girl actually in there at the same time as her. So it was
Mm.
like, oh yes, I mean it's crazy. Or two guys are being there getting their hair cut, and they end up and the girl come in not knowing that the other dude was in there, and then she'll walk in and not looking around and walk up to the dude and other dude like, what you
Yeah.
doing? Like I didn't see it all, but yes, I have caught myself. Um, Not just being a counselor, is being a good listener and doctor and I'm a dermatologist. Oh
Yeah.
shoot, oh yeah, I got a lot of background. It might not be certified, but I got a lot of little
Well, let me
I might
tell.
not
Let
be
me.
certified, but I'm a dermatologist, I'm a counselor. Oh shoot, I'm a OBGYN doctor. So we got a lot of them coming here. They don't smell too good. You gotta put them in their place. You gotta tell them what the best.
Wow.
Oh my God, you'd be surprised. Like, how you would be a grown woman with a husband and children and you smelling? Like, come on, man.
Wow.
Shoot. Oh my God,
Wow.
behind them ears, they get the stinking back there. Oh my God, man, you just don't
Oh my
understand. Yes.
God. So let
And
me
you
ask
know
you this.
me, and you know I have no filter, Mike.
Yes. Yes. Let me ask you this. I usually like I have all types of people on this show. I have
Mhm.
pastors on. I have doctors. I've had
Okay.
artists, comedians, all types of people on here.
Mhm.
And I usually ask this to pastors and stuff like that. Anybody who is like given charge over groups of people and stuff like that, and
Okay.
that have to
Mhm.
hear problems and stuff like that, that as part of their job.
Mhm.
So, like you just said, sometimes you have to be that psychologist to that person. That you let them vent to you and you give them counsel the best you know how. Um, is it hard for you to dump that once you leave the salon for the day? Do you find it did you ever find it hard um getting that out of your brain once you got off work? Like, is it hard to to decompress that? You know what I mean? Have you learned how to get you know get that off your
Well,
off your
I
mind?
think I think you already know the answer, but I think you asking me that for your viewers, whatever. But
Naturally.
yeah, exactly. So I'm meaty 100% all day, every day. So You already. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to, and answer because I think you already know the answer to that.
Yeah.
But so this is for your viewers, for they can know and not. I don't find it hard for myself. I can't speak for other stylists and all that kind of stuff, but I don't feel it's not hard for me. It's like I'm a hairstylist all day long because I have my girls here, and then I still have people that are my cousins and friends that'll call me after I leave the shop, and they'll ask me, stuff about their hair and what's the best product to use for their hair, or remember what I told you today in the shop, and they want to still talk about it, and they'll call me, and my number and my phone is always on. So I don't find it hard. I'm Meedy, whether you see me as a a, a friend outside the shop or a friend inside the shop. I'm Meedy all day, every day. I don't see no need of changing. I try to change, and I felt myself looking stupid. So I because I'm being fake. So I try to be myself, and it's like if you can't take it, then it is what it is. But I do know how to act. I do put my head on, like you say, on for certain people. Not saying I know how to be professional when it's time to be professional. I know how to speak proper when it's time for me to speak proper. You know what I'm saying? And I know how
Mhm.
to act up and put my hood on and get ghetto at the same time. But at the end of the day, I'm still Meedy. You know what I'm saying? All that. And it's crazy because you learn this in school. They tell you it's things that you should not discuss when you become your own boss, and that's religion.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's religion. You shouldn't discuss religion. You shouldn't discuss politics, and you shouldn't discuss personal issues and problems.
Mhm.
So they try to tell you to keep it simple, always address a person by their name. People feel comfortable when you address them by their name. And I try to do
Mhm.
that and speak about the weather and all that kind of good stuff. But you know how I get. I be like, what I'm saying? It is what it is. You talk about it, I'm about it. So and then it's
Right.
crazy because you end up your clientele will usually be how you are. And it's
Right.
crazy because you don't gravitate to that. You don't go out and look for that. It's just that people actually pick up your spirit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just by being out. It's crazy because my smock. I was just about to get on here with my daggone smock on because it's like
Mhm.
I wear it all day long. I said, hold up, I can't go in there with my smock on. I gotta change. So I put but it's crazy because I will go out and eat, or I will go out even when I leave the shop, and I have my smock on all the time. So it's like a walking business card for me. People see, oh, you a hairstylist. And once you start talking to them, when you leave that person, you will know if they're gonna call you or not. Just
Right.
by just by the conversation and just by their energy that they give you when you're talking to them at that moment. And usually your clientele will be how you are. If I was
Wow.
quiet, if I was a quiet and shy person, then the person that's sitting in my chair, she's probably shy and quiet as well. But I'm loud. I'm ghetto as hell. I'm crazy. I'm
Mhm.
myself. It is what it is. And my clients are usually like me. Now, if I was freaky as hell and talk about a bunch of sex, then that's probably what they are too. But I just talk about everything. You know it. It don't matter.
Right.
But you pick. You know when it's time to do that, and when it's time. Because I do pastors, I do deaconettes, I do deacons. All that come through the shop. So when the time and place for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah. But
Um.
I'm using myself at all time, even on the Steve Harvey. You saw the video. I don't know. Did you see that
Right.
video of me when I got my award? Did you see the video?
No, I didn't see it, but now you
Oh
got me
my,
curious. I gotta
wow.
go see that. I
I
gotta
gotta
go
send
see
you
that.
the link. Yeah. I
Yeah.
gotta send you a link. I was myself on stage, you know, at Steve
Yeah.
Harvey. Everybody,
Let's talk
that's
about that
crazy.
real
I
quick.
thought you
Let's
seen that. Oh my
I,
goodness, Mike.
let's
I
talk
thought you
about that
saw
for a
that.
second. Yeah, let's talk about
Okay.
that for a second. You were recognized by the Steve Harvey Show. What in the was it the neighborhood award?
It was Steve Harvey neighbor it was first it was Steve Harvey Neighborhood Awards, and then
Hmm.
Steve Harvey said he changed it to Steve Harvey Hoodie Awards,
Hoodie
meaning neighbor.
Awards. Okay.
He took out the neighbor and left the hood part, and it put
Okay.
because we were being recognized by the hood and
Right.
by the neighbors around your business and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and things that you did in your neighborhood is like for the community, and how I got recognized and how I got um put on to it was a friend of mine named Adrian.
Hmm.
Adrian was recognized as best teacher, and
Okay.
she won in 2014. 2014, she won, and
Hmm.
we supported her. And then they had like a little brunch and a little get together when she was about to leave to go to the Hood Awards. And then she told me before she left, she said, "I'm gonna recommend you myself for next year." And I was like, "Yeah, Adrian, whatever." I'm like, ain't nobody gonna, they gonna nominate me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was possible. I just said, okay, if you think so. She said, Meedy, you are very good for it. You do so much.
Right.
So 2015 came, and she um she nominated me. I mean, well, not nominated. She put me in it. She started it
Mhm.
for me, and then she just got so many people to just back me up. And then she got me all because I won't do that first. I'm like, because I don't do good with, I ain't gonna say I'm a sore loser. I just don't like losing. I don't like the way it feels. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right.
So I
Right.
was
Right.
like,
Right.
I'm gonna be a good sport about it. But I was being phony because I'm like, I be ready to fight when I don't win. I'm like, no, I don't. If I lose, if I get on this thing and I lose, I'm gonna be ready to fight somebody. I ain't no good. I'm a sore loser. I don't even want to say I'm a sore loser, but I am. So she's
Right.
like,
Right.
Meedy, I'm telling you, even if you don't lose, it's a good experiment. It's good for the business. It's giving you a lot of
Hmm.
publicity. It is, you can't win all the time. I'm like, I want to win all the time. But I was
Right.
like, all right, Adrian, if you say so. So I'm just like, all right. So now when she put me in it, and I heard my name on the radio as being like the top five. I was like, oh shit. I can I can really win this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God. So it's like, then I'm the top three, I'm the top five, and then I became the top three, and then I was a runner up. I'm like, what the hell? So then it was like it just kept going and going and going. And then it got to the point where I was number one in the nation, Mike. Number one
Wow.
in the nation. So I'm like, oh
Wow.
my God, it really worked. Because I've been doing back to school hairstyle for free for the little kids for years.
Hmm.
I'll go to my church and do the women hair for free for abused women and men. Um, I would give to, I used to do, I and still do a lot for the community, come out my pocket. And if I can't pay for something, I would try to use, my skills to, substitute for what I can't pay for. So I say,
Hmm.
okay, I might can't give y'all no money, but this is what I can do. You can send so and so and so to my shop and I'll do their hair for free. And then I just kept, and it be people coming to this day and be like, and sometimes people, you give a person an inch and they want to take a mile and they want to run with it. So you gotta be careful. You know how that go. So you gotta be careful for what. So I've been
Right.
doing. I'll travel and go to the care centers and like Morningside up here on Denby. I'll go
Hmm.
there and do the old lady's hair just to do it, just for free.
Right.
Because a lot
Right.
of times just giving them, just doing something for them, make them, it'll uplift the way they feel about themselves, or it might make them want to
Absolutely.
strive to live. Because a lot of them don't feel like they're gonna be here longer, and then you hear all these
Hmm.
sad stories. So just by making them look pretty, and doing something for them, and they don't have to pay for it, you know, you just it just the smiles on their face, it just does something to me. And then the little kids that never been to a beauty salon before, the parents can
Hmm.
afford their parents can afford to bring them to the salon, but the parents will go get their hair done. But then the kids looking
Hmm.
raggedy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I know plenty kids when I was going to school, young girls, never got their hair done. But I was one
Wow.
of the ones that was privileged because my cousin, my auntie did hair. So,
Mhm.
and I used to do little stuff to my own hair, but my mom, whatever. But you got some little kids that got real thick, coarse hair, and their parents really can't do nothing with it.
Right.
So I always said, I'm gonna try my best to give back, because people like yourself and people that I do now, you have to do that. You know what I mean? So if it
Right.
won't for you guys, then it won't be no business for me. So
Right.
I used to every year before back to school, you know about this. Um
Mhm. Mhm.
I do I do the little girls' hair for free. I try to gravitate to the little ones, the ones that
Mhm.
can't help themselves. Now, when you get in
Mhm.
high school, you pretty much at a high school age, you pretty much not to maneuver around, you know,
Right.
how to do your hair. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
used to gravitate to the elementary and middle school
Mhm.
children. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it just, oh my God, Mike, when they come in there, it's little kids that hair ain't never been touched or just matted. It was a little girl hair was so her mom was just brushing the outside, but not the inside of her hair. And
Mm.
it had to be cut. And she cried. But I did a sew in that it made it look like, and she was like in the third grade. I gave her a sew in. And it made her, and then you couldn't tell.
Right.
And and it was long. I don't think she cared if you could see every track. She didn't. It was just her hair was, because she was just so
Right.
excited that her hair was done. So it just the smiles and the look on their face, and then how they staring at themselves in the mirror, and then their mothers that can't afford it. It just all of that. It just do something to me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I wasn't able to do it last year because of the pandemic, and then I didn't have a lot of support. A lot of people don't want to do what you do. And I can't get mad at the people in my shop if they don't want to do it. You know,
Mhm.
it's just something that I love to do, and I can't make
Mhm.
people do it. So I didn't really have the
Mhm.
support system behind me year for last. And last year was the pandemic, so I wasn't able to do it because there was no school. So I just love to do it every year. So Adrian knew that I done that, and she
Mhm.
she put she put me into the Steve Harvey, and I end up I was the top five in the nation. It was me and four other salons in different states. I represented Virginia, you know, um,
Mhm.
and it was Maryland, and it was South Carolina, and North Carolina, and DC, and Baltimore, and it was everybody all over. And it was one guy that he was out of South Carolina, and he been winning from day one. Nobody
Mhm.
never nobody never beat him, and I was up against him in 2015. So I
Mhm.
didn't have a lot of support system. Um, that came with me to Atlanta. It was just me, my son girlfriend, and is I think two of the people from the shop came out, and my husband, and that's all I had
Right.
with me in Atlanta. This guy had a whole like he had like a trail full of people, Mike, that
Right.
was like
Right.
they had flyers and billboards, and we walking down the strip to go into the building, and they all yelling out his name, and then I walk by, they go boo. I'm like, and I'm looking like, and here I am, fresh to dress. I'm clean as a
Yeah.
whistle, man. You couldn't tell me nothing. So here I am
Yeah.
looking at my husband like, I'm not gonna win. And my husband said, what you
Yeah.
mean you're not gonna win? I'm like, do you see this? I'm like, do you see the support team that he had with him? Like, I
Mhm.
got like good 5 people with me. This man got a whole state with him. I'm like, it's no way I'm gonna win. So I had to boost myself up and drink about 4 shots of Hennessy to calm my nerves, because I really didn't want to feel the pain when they didn't call my name. So I'm
Right.
sitting in the audience. I'm at a point now. I'm tipsy. I'm feeling good. I'm enjoying the show, and I'm at the point where I didn't care if I win because I'm drunk. So when they got on stage and they called Platinum Star was the winner, I didn't hear them. I'm just sitting there like, and they said, You won. And I said, what? Like, you won. And I got up, Mike. And when I tell you, that was the best feeling in the world. I mean, Tamar Braxton and what was his name? Stephen A. Smith,
Hmm.
the sportsman that
From
I
First
think
Take. Hmm.
they were the one that announced the
The
award to me.
presenters. Hmm.
They was and they Tamar Braxton loved my dress. So after I got off stage, she like, I want your dress. And I said, well, this dress my husband bought me for our anniversary. And when we was in Florida, I said, you give me $800 because that's what I paid for it because I was balling that year. So I said, you give me $800, you can have it. And I said, matter of fact, if you wear my dress and you let everybody know that you got on my dress, you can have my dress. But I supposed to get up with her at the end of the show, but her and her husband was going through something. They got into an argument and she ended up leaving early. But
Mm.
I won, Mike, and I couldn't believe that I won. And then I was nominated again that following year, 2016. And I was like, oh my God. So that was the best experience in my life. And see, and before you win, Steve Harvey come on stage and he run down all the rules that he wants you not to do. And one of
Right.
them was to if you win, your ass better be prepared to say your speech and think whoever you want to think. Because if you get up here and you nut up, he gonna embarrass you. I
Right.
didn't think I was gonna win. So of course I didn't have a speech. So I got up there
Wow.
and I nutted up. And when I nutted up, he was about to come for me, and I cussed Steve Harvey out. I told Steve Harvey, I ain't give a damn what you say about me. You got to see the video, man. I'm going to send you the video when we hang up.
Okay.
But you got to
Okay.
see it, and you're going to be like, oh my God. And everybody loved me. And then he said, do not come over here by me. Stay where you at, and I stay where I'm at. I ignored all that. I went over there and I hugged him. You got to see it, man. It was awesome, yo. It was awesome. It
Okay.
was. I was just myself. That's the only way I could be. And everybody loved me. And everywhere I went that night, I was giving out autographs. Like they wanted my autograph. And it was so
Mm.
many people from Virginia and from this area that I didn't know that was there that come to that show every year. And they didn't know me, but they was like, when they saw that I was representing the Tidewater area, they was like, we was rooting for you. And that's
Right.
how and it's crazy because I won, Mike. Like, who would thought that little shop, you know, on Denby
Yes, sir.
Boulevard will win? And not,
Wow.
I wasn't the number one in the state. I was the number one in the nation. I just want everybody to know that again. I want to say that again.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just want to make that clear. No, not the state,
Got
the
you.
the nation. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So we almost at the end of the interview. I mean,
Oh,
you pretty much did the interview for me. I ain't really have to do much,
like I,
which
I
I'm
told
not
you, man, it
complaining.
go deep.
That's pretty
It go
dope.
deep, man. It go deep. If you want to extend your you want to extend your cast for another 30 more minutes. I'm ready. But you know,
Okay. Um,
we
let
got
me
to.
ask you this.
Mhm.
Let me ask you this. Is there anybody's hair you won't do? Is there any under any is there any circumstances where you will refuse to do somebody's hair?
Now, I'll be honest with you. I have turned down a lot of people. If I can't do it, I'm gonna tell you I can't do it. I'm not one of them
Hmm.
stylists that can sit you in my chair and act like I know what I'm doing. If I feel like I can do it, it can be something that I never did before. But if I can feel like, oh, Meedy, you can do that, then I would do it. But if it's something that I feel that's complicated or difficult, or I'm not comfortable doing, then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I never did it before. I don't think that I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I said, well, let me refer you to somebody that I feel that would be better for you to go to. So now I would do any type of hair, but if it's a particular style that they want, and if I'm not comfortable with, or if I feel like if I just won't do it. I got to be comfortable in my skin, and I got to make sure I'm comfortable on you because you representing me when you leave out of this shop. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm putting my signature on you. So if I'm not comfortable or I won't do it. And that's comes down to a style not a person. Now if
Okay.
I get a bad,
Okay.
if I get a bad energy from a person, I won't do them either, because you got a lot of people, and we call them shop hoppers. And then you got a lot of people that's money hungry people, where they're coming in and they won't be honest with you. I can look at a person's head and tell how long it been relaxed. And then I ask you, when the last time you had a relaxer? And you tell me 3 months ago, and you want permanent color. Uh no, you're not being honest. So you got some people will tell you that, and you can't put a permanent color on top of a relaxer. And in a lot of
Hmm.
cases, your hair gonna fall out. So you got a lot of people that love to try to take you to court and try to sue you. So
Hmm.
I try to, like I say, I'm a very spiritual person, and God send me signs all the time, and He prepared me for them demons, throughout the week, and throughout my time. So I pretty much can tell if I got a demon in my shop, because demons are real. They'll jump in
Wow.
and they'll jump in and out you like it ain't nothing. So demons are real, and I'm a strong believer in bad spirits. So if I'll no, so I'll turn you down for stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So let's shift gears a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We know that you are um the bomb hairstylist. We know that you've been in the game for some
28,
years, some
28.
major years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now you have entered into food.
Well, not me, but my husband Sam. I'm just a support system, but um,
Okay, okay.
I can dazzle a little bit in my kitchen, and then he'll teach me. And it's crazy how he became, because Sam does it. That's that Dominican. I mean, Lord Jesus, that's me. Sam is that Panamanian and that Jamaican. That's that he got that in him. He's
Okay.
Panamanian and Jamaican, so he got that in his blood. So Sam can do a lot of stuff. Like I don't know if you've seen, like, he builds, and he can
Yeah.
lay down floors. My husband can do, and he DJ, but DJing is his, that's what he does. Like, that's his
Hmm.
heart. When it
Hmm.
comes down to the end of the day, music is his life. So
Right.
he, but when it comes down to doing a whole lot of other stuff, like, he can nail it, and he can, you know, knock it down. Like, he does a lot of stuff. So when he became in the food field, I was shocked. So he's partners with his friend in Portsmouth, and that's Burger Bistro, and now he's
Hmm.
about to be partners with his brother-in-law, and we're about to open up another one. We're about to open up a restaurant in Gaston, um, North Carolina, and
Wow.
it's called Stir Fry Grill. So the one in North Carolina is with his brother-in-law, and it's like a family. They're gonna be like a family restaurant, because now we
Hmm.
all can we all can come in, and, and do our little thing, with him. So um, I'm not the restaurant person, but that's my husband. I'm just his support system. So yes, so that's
Do
how that
you
came about.
this do you this may sound like a silly question too, but
Uh-huh.
do you, do you consider at this point, do you consider yourself successful, or are you still working towards what you would consider successful? What do you consider yourself at this point?
I don't. A lot of people look at me, consider me a successful person, but I don't. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself being blessed. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
blessed from what I came through and what I've been through. I don't look like what I've been through, so
Mm-hmm.
I consider myself being blessed, very blessed. But I have things on my list that I haven't accomplished yet, and once I get that list, I narrowed it down, but it's not done. So once I get
Mm-hmm.
it done, and then I can call myself successful. But me, no, I don't feel like I'm successful yet. But you, or somebody else that's close to me, or somebody else just know me, they'll say, "No, girl, you are very, a successful, woman." But I don't feel like I am. But
So you don't consider yourself a stop and smell the roses type of person. You just kind of you do your
that's
thing
it.
and then you're on to the next thing. You on to the next
Exactly.
thing. You're on to the next thing.
Exactly. My goal before I pass, and just count my blessings, that I'm really trying to get this beauty school thing done.
Hmm.
And that's gonna be my last. my last drive. I want to be an
Okay.
instructor. Yep. I want to
Okay.
leave something behind for my children to have. And, they might not be into hair, but at least they can go in and they can manage it and run it for me.
Hmm.
I want to leave my name on something. I don't want to
Right.
just, leave here and say, oh, Media use their own platinum styles. Like, I want my name is on that, but I want it to
Hmm.
be an ongoing thing where people can continue to come to,
Right.
if that
I
makes
was
sense.
inter- it absolutely does. I was interviewing somebody a couple weeks ago, and they kind of said something similar to that, to the point where they were like, even more than money, they
Hmm.
want their name to carry to
To carry on
carry a,
their
a
legacy.
certain to carry a
Yes.
certain weight to it, so that when like, to the point where if your daughter was trying to get a job, right?
Hmm.
And they find out, just based off that they found out that she's your daughter, they give her the job.
Mm.
Or she goes to a restaurant to eat,
Hmm.
and they say, "Oh, are you Meaty's daughter?" Yes. Oh, no
Hmm.
charge. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow,
That's
it's
the type
crazy.
of.
Yeah, but my kids tell me that. My kids will tell me. They tell us that now. They say
Mm,
that. Like my son work at the shipyard, and the
mhm,
person that interviewed him said, "Hold up, you Meaty son?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I know your mom. I go to her shop, and she
mhm,
put in, and yeah. So they're like, "Mom, I really feel like, if I didn't get her, I want to, she want to push me to the next interview, And I said, no, son, it could have just been you. He said, no, mom, because she didn't ask me nothing. Like she knew I was your son, and she just signed me off to the next interview. And I was like, well, that was good. And
right.
then when I saw her, I thanked her. I said, no, before I even said anything, she said, Meedy, I interviewed your son last week. And I said, yeah, he told me. I said, and thank you. She said, oh, girl, no problem. So it must have, and then I got my daughter, the job that she had, it was recommended because of a friend that knew me. She was like, Meedy, you think CJ would want to work for this company? And I'm like, yeah. And by her knowing me and CJ was on there. So things do come about, you know, and it's all about being a good person and how you treat people. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Mhm,
I'm not saying I'm the best person that you gonna meet. I know I'm not the worst. But I got people that talks, they'll say bad things about me, but it's gonna be something personal. It ain't got none of that. That's a personal problem because I try to treat people the way people treat me. You know what I'm saying? I'm
right.
not stingy. I'm not stingy at all. I will give you the shirt off my back. You know what I'm saying? But I
Mhm,
try to at least when I meet somebody, I try to at least leave a good example, on who I am. Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And when you said that, like I said, it just sparked my memory, because, like I
Uh
said, I
huh.
was interviewing a guy, and he said that exact thing, like, to the
Wow.
point where, like you said, he wants his name to resonate in the
Right.
community
As
so much that even
exactly.
after he's gone, his family
Right.
will benefit from
Right.
it, even without, what I'm saying, without any money involved. Like, they'd be able to go places, and based off of their name, they can
Hmm.
you know get
I understand. Yeah,
pushed
I
right
do.
through.
And that
But
good.
that's
And then that's good because it make you feel good. So when you do leave this earth, you can rest and know that okay, people in the community will look out for your child when you're
mm,
gone. You know what I mean? And that makes you feel good when you know you are well respected in your community and well the world or wherever you are, wherever you at,
mhm,
and knowing that people will love just by being you, they will love your children just because who you are. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
But
mhm.
then you got some demons will mistreat your children just because they didn't like you.
Right.
So, your children will
It
pick
goes,
up.
yeah, it goes both
It goes
ways.
both ways. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
You got jealous people out there in the world that they just don't they just don't like you because. I get that all the time,
Right.
and I work hard for where I'm at, and I'm not even where I want to be, you know. But people
Right.
just they'll look at you and think that as long as you got a little bit more than what they got, they want to hate. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
not sitting down asking you how you get to where you are right now. So they're asking you
Mhm.
that, people want to talk about you, they want to be you, but then they don't want to walk in your shoes. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
don't want to ask you, or what it took for you to get there. Because a lot of people don't know my story. You know what I mean? Like I told you, my story goes along. Your interview is 4 hours, and we'd already 6 minutes over already. So you know what I'm saying? We keep, but
Yeah.
I ain't got number time. So I'm
Yeah.
home, and I just take my head off to you, Mike, and your wife. Your wife. You gotta be a good person. She gotta be a good person. Her name is Demetrius, same name I got.
I'm
Oh
gonna tell
God.
her that. I'm gonna let her
Yeah,
know that too.
I think I told her that once or twice. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
let me ask you this.
Hmm.
Do you find that since the pandemic has happened and everything, and things are kind of slowly but surely getting back to more of a normal type of flow, do you feel like your customers do you feel like they appreciate you more than they did
Um.
prior to? Do you feel a difference in
Okay.
how how your customers relate to you now? Do you
Well,
feel more appreciated?
no, I
No?
don't. No, no, I
Wow.
don't. And I'm gonna say that for myself. I can't speak for all stylists, but um,
Hmm.
I don't feel appreciated more. I feel the same. Um,
Hmm.
I just know that the pandemic hit hit the beauty industry hard. I'm not making nowhere near the money that I was making before the pandemic hit because I had a lot of older people, and I had, my clientele was pretty decent. It's pretty decent, but a lot of people still is not coming. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because of the pandemic or because of the COVID. So, and then a lot of people is really saving their coins because a lot of people
Hmm.
still not working. It's not working.
Right.
So they are going into on YouTube and they buying these wigs and they doing all this stuff to try to um, look presentable for their jobs or
Right.
whatever, and they going out buying these wigs and stuff. So it has really put a strain on me, on my business. You
Hmm.
know, I'm not speaking for all, but I do know that it's put a strain on the beauty industry in my eyes because I'm
Wow.
not doing nowhere near the people that I would have done, before the pandemic hit. So I
Hmm.
don't think I'm appreciative more. I don't feel like that. I mean, I really don't. Um, they don't mistreat me less, but or more. It's regular for me. You know what
It's
I mean?
regular.
Yeah, it's regular. I mean, I don't get no extra tip or no shit like that.
Have you in your career have you had the opportunity to do any celebrities
The
hair?
first celebrity that I had done, and I was doing her for a while, was oh my God, was Lord Nicole Ray.
Okay. Okay.
Nicole Ray was the first celebrity that I have ever done, and I was doing her for a while until she moved away. Nicole Ray,
Okay.
and I did LaShawn. Um, I can't think of LaShawn name, but she was one of the singers in Missy Elliott group Sisters.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember her. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she
Sister.
come to this.
Is it
Yeah,
sister, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and sister, she used to come to the studio, LaShawn.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm.
So I did LaShawn and Timberland. And now
Hmm.
Timberland, before he blew up, but he was already up there. But I did his fiance hair. When I was in Petersburg, I used to do her hair. The
Hmm.
girl in my shop, named Rail, used to do her nails, and then I used to do her hair. So
Okay.
Timberland ex-wife, Timberland.
Okay.
I don't even know if they got. Yeah, I think they did get married, and I was doing her. Um, who else? And well, this one is not a celebrity, but Trey
Hmm.
Songz family, Trey Songz family, his cousins. I used to do their hair when I had my shop
Hmm.
in Pittsburgh, but they were just cousins. It wasn't,
Hmm.
Trey
Right.
Songz Trey Songz was a little boy when I had my shop in Peters, Colonial Heights. He was a
Okay.
youngin. Yeah, and
Okay.
Trey Songz started out being a barber. He started out being a
Oh, really?
barber. Yeah, yeah. He's a cut hair. Yep.
Okay.
Before he started singing, and he actually can cut too. Yep. He's good. He's a good
Wow.
barber. Yep.
Well, you know what?
Yep.
I did hear somewhere that he was like cutting his own hair at
Uh
certain
huh.
points.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. And then
That's what's up.
yep. He was a barber, and but that's about it. But Nicole Ray, Nicole Ray was yeah, I just do her hair. Yvette Michelle. You know Yvette Michelle, the singer Yvette Michelle. She was I'm not feeling you, no matter
Yeah.
what
Yeah. Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you got me singing. I don't want to throw out my love. But Yvette Michelle, I used to do Yvette
Hmm.
Michelle. She came out back in the early the '90s with Funk Flex. Remember
Hmm.
he was
Yeah, I remember her.
yeah, Michelle, Yvette Michelle. I used to do her. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. That's crazy. I about
So.
to forget all about Yvette. Yeah. Yep. Yvette was and she was and back in then she was she was the shit. She was hot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
So tell me, this is another pandemic question. What do you feel like you've learned personally about yourself that maybe you didn't know prior to the pandemic? What have you learned from the pandemic about yourself that you may not have known or realized or recognized about yourself before the pandemic?
That I can save money. That I
Wow.
can actually save money. Yes. Yes. That I can save money. I didn't think that I can actually save money because I'm always spending. But when the pandemic
Hmm.
hit, I was actually putting money away. I'm like, wow, that I can save
Yeah.
money. That's something that I realized that I can do. Yep, that I can save money. hmm
Wow.
Yep, exactly right. I was like, so I can. So Sam like, so you can do it.
Yeah. I
Yep,
mean, you know what?
yep,
You get to a point where you realize that even if you do buy something, like if you like, I'm
uh
a sneaker person,
huh,
so like even if I do go out and I buy some sneakers, where am I wear them at? You know
yep,
what I'm saying? What am I do? It's
exactly,
so
exactly.
so you might as
And
well
then
just chill.
you might want to
You
say,
know what
and
I
see
mean?
my problem is playing lottery. I play lottery all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I play the lottery. So when the pandemic hit, I couldn't play like I wanted to. And then I had
Hmm.
surgery on my foot not too long ago. So I'm
Okay.
struggling with my foot. So, I had to, really save then because then I was shut down for a minute. I'm still like, not moving around like I want to because of my foot. So, I had surgery on it. So that really was a test, to me. But usually like in February, like now, I'll be fasting for like 40 days,
Hmm.
with the church
Okay.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So and the thing that I used to give up was lottery. I won't play, I
Hmm.
won't go on social media and I won't play the lottery for like 40 days. So and actually that's coming up. Um,
Mm.
you know,
Okay.
I need to start. Yeah, I got to start fasting now. So, and you supposed to give up something. So my thing that I had was playing lottery. So I used to give that up too. But when I got, pandemic hit, and then I went right into my foot surgery. I had to really learn how to save. So that's something that I really learned that I could really do, and that I noticed that I have done. Yep,
Okay.
saving money.
That's what's up.
hmm
What have you found to be the most common misconception about you? What do you see most? What do
People
you hear mostly?
people say I'm mean. I hear that a lot. And it makes me sad, Mike, because I'm not.
Hmm.
People
Hmm.
would say I'm mean. Yeah, they'll say, and then they get to meet me. They're like, no way, you ain't mean. I don't know why I thought you was mean. And they said it's either the look I gave them or the look I had or something that they heard me say in the shop, and I was saying to somebody, and they took me as I was mean, and I'm not mean at all. I'm not. I'm the most probably the sweetest person that you can meet, but people think that I'm mean.
Right.
Yep.
What would
Like when
what
like
what
when
would
you
you?
first like when you first met me, they
I
asked
never
you a
I never
question.
thought you
They
was
asked
me.
you you never thought of me. Okay, you thought I was crazy.
Never. I never thought you was me.
How about
I
crazy? How about crazy? Not
no.
not
I
cra-
you know
not
what?
crazy
I
as
never.
mental, not crazy as mental
But funny,
retarded crazy.
yeah. Like funny. Like I never took you serious like that. Like I thought you was cool. I never thought you was me. Never.
Well,
You
that's
know what I'm
good.
saying?
That's good. Well, I'm so happy to hear that because I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
People say, I mean, like it'll be somebody that I met. I could have ran into them like 10 years ago in a
Hmm.
store or something, and then I end up doing their hair, or somebody else in the shop do their hair, and before they leave, they'll come to me like, you know what? I met you like 10 years ago, and you was cussing somebody out, and or something like that. And they said, and I'm like, I'm not going to her because she is mean. And then they'll
Right.
say, you know what? You're not mean at all. Yeah, stuff like that. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
See, and
Or
if it's meant to be, those opportunities will come back around for you to
and I told her
redeem
that,
yourself. You
and
know
I
what I
told
mean?
her that
So.
I said at that time it wasn't meant for you to meet me at that time. I said
Hmm.
it was your time today. And I said,
Right.
it was just that's just how the world that's how it works. And then I get a lot of kids that or women or men that's now on social media on Facebook that they will see me now that I haven't seen in years, and they're like, wow, Meedy, when you in school, you was mean in school, and I
Hmm.
wasn't because they didn't know my story. You know what I mean?
Right.
I used to fight all the time, every
Hmm.
day almost, seemed like every week. But also I had a testimony at the end of the day. I was a disturbed young lady. In school, I was
Hmm.
molested. Let's get it out there.
Right.
I was being molested. You know, when
Hmm.
when you when you was home sleeping in the bed, I was fighting off a demon on me. It was an
Right.
uncle. It was an uncle. And he
Hmm.
molested me. And I was being molested and from 10 years old to like 14 years old. So
Wow.
I had a lot of issues. I was
Hmm.
didn't know what to do at that point. So if you can say anything to me and never know what I went through that night before. So, so now I'm in school and you could say anything to me. I'm just not there. I'm just stuck on what happened the night before. So I'll blow up at a drop of a dime. So a lot of times when I was fighting in school, you know, I was a disturbed little young lady. Put it that way.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, you never know what somebody's going through. People want to
Right.
classify you. They want to classify you as what they want to classify you at and as, but then they don't want to ask the questions or why you that type or why you this way.
Right.
They don't want to
Right.
ask. They don't want to ask questions. They just want to classify you at that moment. Instead of just taking the time out to ask
Hmm.
why. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's. You know what? That was pretty awesome that you brought that up. That to be transparent, and like I said, that's one of the things that this show kind of welcomes, that transparency, because my
Mm.
my mission is to like give people, like I said, an alternative
And
to
hope.
like people
And
who
hope.
don't, right, and
Mhm.
people that
Mhm.
that don't
Yep.
necessarily have the name that
Yes. Like
larger
oh
people have.
yes. Yes.
This is a
Yes.
platform for
Oh
them
my
to
God.
kind of
Oh
to
oh
share and
man.
be
Yes.
you know what I mean? And so now
Exactly.
this
Exactly.
this is this is airing on Facebook and it's on YouTube. So like
That's good. Right.
so
That's good.
you can direct people to it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That may you can direct people to it. You can manipulate it. You can do whatever you want to it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so this
Exactly.
kind of gives you more options, and that's what I want to help be a
Right.
part of people's journey
Yeah, because you
to
never
do things,
know.
like that.
You have so many young girls right now as we speak being molested, and
Hmm.
they feel like their hopes and dreams are destroyed. And I was one of
Right.
them. I was one of those little girls that felt like nobody loved me, nobody cared, because nobody's
Hmm.
noticing that this is happening to me. And then I was also fight every day. I didn't care. Why
Right.
should I care when my mama felt like looked like she didn't care or didn't notice? Not saying my mama didn't care. My mom didn't know. And
Right.
then I didn't have the strength to tell her because my mother, on the other hand, she's a crazy somebody too. So, you know, I just didn't need them problems. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
I developed being a liar. I was known to be a liar. So now that something's really happening to me, they're not knowing why I became a liar. I wanted to be noticed. I used to lie for attention. So I
Right.
wanted attention because I wasn't getting it. And something was
Right.
happening to me that nobody was seeing. So
Right.
I gravitated to being a liar or a fighter. I just wanted to be noticed. You know what I'm saying? Now that
Hmm.
I'm adult and then I have my own children in my family, I know what it was then. Not knowing what it was back then, but knowing what it was now. I wanted to be
Right.
noticed. So I used to fight. My dad used to beat me. Then I leave my house and go to my grandma's house. Now I'm being molested. My dad beat me because he not sure if I was his. So instead of taking out on my mother, he used to take it out on me. I wasn't asked to
Wow.
be here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't asked to be here. So why you beat me? You know what I'm saying? And then his side
Hmm.
of the family judging me and not treating me like they treated my brother. My brother got all the extra treatment. I was
Right.
thrown to the point where, oh, it's a possibility that, you know, that's not his child. So what? Let's just so they just treated me any kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I noticed that as a young age. I noticed I was being mistreated on both
Hmm.
ends. So I used to fight, Mike, fight all the time. But nobody never set me down from what I can recall. Nobody never set me down and say, Meedy, what is going on? Why are you
Right.
doing this? And I might have would have told them, but nobody never asked me. I was a
Right.
very strong-minded child at an early age. I had to grow up fast than
Hmm.
what a normal young child would. So I was told that I wasn't gonna be nothing. I was told I was gonna be on welfare. I was told I was gonna be a whore. I was told I wasn't gonna be shit. I was told
Right.
that in my face from very important people that I looked up to in my life. So
Hmm.
when people see me, and I also probably was looked at being nothing in high school and in the elementary school and in middle school, because I get that a lot of times they don't say it, but I see the expression on their face when they see me on Facebook and they say, wow, you married? Or they'll
Right.
say, how long you been married? And I said, I've been married for 22 years. Wow. They go, wow. And I'm like, it used to make me mad, Mike, when I hear that, wow. When they extend the wow, not wow, wow. Like who the hell gonna marry this crazy ass chick?
Right.
Stuff
Right.
like
Right.
that.
Right.
So I know where they coming from. They don't say it, but I know. But I had to understand that's the example that I left for them. So I
Right. Hmm.
can't get mad at that. I only can prove to them that I'm a different person. I have changed. And in the person that you thought I was, I'm not, you know?
Right.
So
Wow.
it feels good to know that you once thought I was gonna be a slum and now I'm what I am now. And it makes me feel so good when I hear those wow. When it used to be, what you mean? In a defense. I don't even try to
Hmm.
defend it no more because I know the expression and I know the definition and the mark that I left back then. So they
Wow.
just they just surprised that I overcame, what I used to be. So that makes me feel good now. So once I had to learn that and understand that, because your past do reflect your future. It does.
Hmm.
People would say, your past do reflect your future. And a lot of times people will still judge you on your past. They don't even want to know. They don't even care about what you're doing now. It's
Right.
what you it's and that's society by itself. They look at you
Hmm.
how you used to be,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and it shouldn't be judged by that. But a lot of people still do. They will still
Wow.
judge you. They will still so it's a very important to try to change, to try to make
Hmm.
that change, because you know it reflects who you are and it
Hmm.
reflects your seeds, your children as well. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Yep.
you just really said a mouthful right there. You don't preached
Yeah.
us. You don't preached us.
Oh wow.
You don't preached us pretty happy.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there are people that are watching
Hmm.
that have similar stories
Hmm.
and and I was really touched by by what you said. Like a lot of this stuff, of course, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm learning along with
yeah,
everybody else.
yeah, yeah.
Um, it's amazing what you've been able to accomplish,
Yeah.
in spite of everything that has happened and
Mhm.
gone through that you've gone through or whatever. But you are absolutely the personification, the example of what this show is all about.
Oh,
And
thanks. I'm glad to
and I,
help. That's good. That's good.
I appreciate you coming on because I know you, I know
Mhm.
you, and shout out to Silk. I know y'all are
Mhm.
like the ultimate
Mhm.
power couple. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah, that's my
and
baby.
can nobody tell me that y'all are not millionaires for real?
For
Nobody
real?
can tell me that y'all are
Oh
not
my.
millionaires.
Well, in spirit, yes, in spirit. In spirit,
Nah.
But it's amazing to hear you say that because it pushes me and Sam. We a
Yeah.
regular couple like everybody else. We argue. I get on his nerve. He get on my nerve. But it's not one moment where I feel that I don't have his. I love him dearly.
Hmm.
And I got his back 100%, and I know he has my back. And it's not just that for him telling me that he loved me. He shows me like getting up every
Hmm.
day and doing what he's doing. Even when days when he don't feel good, he get up and he things that he do shows me that he loves me and how a woman should be treated. My husband
Right.
don't call me out my name. My husband don't beat me. And I've been through
Hmm.
a lot of those in a relationship where I've been cheated on and beat up on. But I'll fight their ass back. But just saying. But I don't gotta go through that. I don't gotta go through that with Sam. I don't. So a lot of times when we
Hmm.
first got together, I had to catch myself and be like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
this man ain't gonna hit me, you know, because
Hmm.
we get to arguing and I'm automatically got my boxing gloves on because I'm like, okay, this nigga might try to throw a blow because that's what I was used to. But never, 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 and it feels amazing, Mike. And I know you are the same. And I know you don't hit
Yeah,
your wife.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I know
Absolutely
I'm not
not.
in your household, but I just know from knowing you these years, I know you don't.
Hmm.
You know what I
No,
mean?
absolutely
But
not.
I know she get on your nerve, and I know you get on her nerve. And we both
No,
argue,
never.
you know?
Never.
Whatever. What the
No,
hell ever.
never.
Well, I know y'all get on each other's nerves, and that's just something to be. That's just normal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anybody, the kids get on our nerves, but they don't
Right.
mean that I don't love him any less, and they don't mean he don't
Right.
love me any less. It just
Right.
that's just life. You gonna have you know disagreements. We're not gonna agree on everything all the time.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't want nobody agreeing with me every damn thing
Right.
I do. Like you want a strong person, a strong man
Right.
that holds his
Hmm.
own. I don't want
Absolutely.
nobody I can tell, to go do this, okay? Or go this. I don't want no man. I want you to, sit me down like, yo, I ain't doing shit. Like you go do your goddamn stuff. We like that type. We like that type of shit. I ain't gonna lie. We like that type of
Oh.
shit. I'm tell you what I know now. I'm gonna tell you what I know. We don't want nobody, okay, okay. We don't want nobody okaying us every 5 minutes. No,
Yeah.
I ain't doing that today. I don't want to do that. You know. But it feels good to know that we are looked at as a powerful couple. I hear that a lot. People tell
Yeah.
me and Sam that a lot, and it feels good to know that we looked at because it gives a lot of other customers hope. I mean, a lot of couples hope. That
Okay.
and that feels good,
Well.
man. It really really does. It really does. Yeah.
Okay. This is the last thing. Um.
Okay.
If I'm a person who's aspiring to be a hairstylist, or
Okay.
I have questions about the business,
Mhm.
um, or if I'm going through some of the similar situations that you talked about earlier, and I just
Mhm.
need somebody to 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 talk to or answer my questions,
Mhm.
to get counsel from you. How would I get into contact with you?
Well, I can. you can contact me on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well. Facebook has my business, has a business page, and it has my personal page. Instagram has both. It has a personal page, and then it has Styles by Meedy as well. So you can contact me on either one of those. On Facebook is Platinum Styles, and Styles is spelled with a Z. So it's spelled
Hmm.
STYLZ. A lot of people get it mixed up. They'll put Platinum Styles,
Hmm.
spelling out Styles, and you might end up getting on because there's another salon that's called Platinum Styles Hair Studio, and they are located in Portsmouth. So you might end up getting them, but my page has a black and white symbol on there, and it has the Steve Harvey trophy on it too. So you will recognize me from the others. So it's spelled with a Z, and you can contact me on my business page, personal page as well, and Instagram. Yep. And
So,
like you say, this podcast is like you see, I'm learning from you because like I said, we got my podcast coming up, and I want you to be a guest as well, on
absolutely.
mine, to
Just
let me
let me
know
know.
how you became about, how your business and everything is coming. And like I said, mine is gonna be more like an internet radio show. I had it before. I'm not sure if you remember, but it's called Meedy Mondays, and
Oh, okay.
it's an open subject, like it's open for discussion, anything can go. So if you holy sanctified and you about to be a preacher and all that good shit, you might not want to come on my show because we
Okay.
yeah we get in the nitty gritty.
Okay. Okay.
But it do be a lot of professional things that go on in too. Because when I had it before, um we end up saving a young lady life. She was trying to commit suicide, and she
Hmm.
actually took a whole bottle of pills when she called me, and
Mm.
we talked to her. We called we she's from Ohio, but we didn't know what part of Ohio she was in. So what happened? We called 911 in Ohio, and how they reached her was from her email address, because you have to have an email address at the time to
Oh wow.
listen to this the radio station, and she in calling me on from her email address, where the computer, they tracked her down from her computer, and that's
Right.
how they was able to get to her. Yep. Yep.
Wow.
She took a
Wow.
whole
That's
bottle of
crazy.
pills, and her husband was leaving her, was cheating on her, and she didn't want to live anymore. And we talked to her on the phone long enough to get the paramedics and the police out there to her address.
Wow.
That was that
That's
was seven
crazy.
that was 7 years ago. Yep.
That's crazy.
That was crazy. Yep.
Wow.
Exactly. Exactly. I would love to know how she's doing. They couldn't give me a lot of information about her because I wasn't family, but they said that she had lived. Well, I do know she lived through it. Don't know if she
Hmm.
living now, but they caught her in time, and they said that she was in the hospital and she was going to recover. That's all they
Oh,
told me.
wow. That's
That was
awesome.
crazy. Yeah, that was crazy, right? So that made me feel
Yes.
good too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They made me feel real good too. Yeah. But
Well,
Mike, this was wonderful, man. I really enjoyed it. I really did. And
absolutely.
don't be a stranger. Always invite me again. You want to talk about something else?
Absolutely.
I got a whole lot of stuff to talk about, boy. Sure.
Okay.
This ain't the half. But
Absolutely.
for real, I'm very proud of you, and I
Thank
like
you.
this. I
Thank
like
you.
what you got. I like what you got going on here. I really do.
Thank
Yep.
you. I appreciate it. I really,
Yeah.
really do.
And I
And
enjoyed
again, like I
myself.
said, this is showing on Facebook Live and YouTube
So
um,
it's showing right now on
at
there.
the same time. Yeah,
Oh wow.
it's on your page. It's showing on your page right now
It is?
on
Oh
your
my
on your
goodness.
Facebook
So
page.
what I gotta do? Just go in there and look at, okay, cool. I go in and look
Yeah,
at
if you go on your page, you can watch it or whatever, and you can share it with
oh
whoever you
wow.
want.
Awesome.
I'll send you the
Awesome.
link. I'll send you the link for the YouTube page too, so you can watch it. It's gonna be
Okay.
on
Okay.
YouTube as well.
And
Simple
I'm gonna send
Friends.
you I'm gonna send you that video, man, of the Steve
Okay.
Harvey video. And you're gonna
I'm,
laugh.
yeah, I
You're gonna
want to see
laugh.
that.
I mean,
I want to
yes,
see that.
I'm gonna send it to you. As soon as we hang up, I'm gonna send it to you.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, I thank you
Text
for
me,
coming on.
text me. Yes, text me your email address. I'm gonna send it to you on your email. So text it to me
Okay.
when we hang up.
Okay,
And
I
thank
will
you
do.
so much, Mike. Thank you so much.
No problem. No
All
problem.
right.
God bless you and your family and all
Yes,
everything
give
that you
my
have going
love
on.
and give my love to
Will
his
do.
family as well. As well. All
Will
right.
do.
Bye. Okay.
Woo! There you have it, y'all. Another episode of Let's Take a Walk in the Can. I'd like to thank Miss Meedy Jackson again for coming on and being transparent and being honest and just being her authentic self. I really, as you can see, I actually didn't really have to do much. Just let her go. And sometimes that's what you got to do. And let's go. To me, people need to hear that authenticness, that realness, that rawness. And like I told her, there are many people out here that may be dealing with some of the same issues that you dealt with. And it's my hope that El Talk, Let's Take a Walk, will connect, be that connector, be that conduit, be that bridge that connects those people that may not have had the opportunity to meet. Now they have the opportunity to connect, even if it's just virtually at first. You know what I mean? Because I know that there are many out there who suffered from abuse and that type of thing. So here you are. Here you have an example of a survivor. And not only did she survive, she created a great family and is building a thriving business. I mean, what can you say about that? That's super dope. And again, I want to thank her for coming on. I want to thank everybody who came on to the platform and watched the show. Everybody who commented. Shout out to my cousin Haywood. Love you, man. Shout out to Dee and Lisa and Ebony Capri. Ebony, I got to get you back on the show. Um, yeah, thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you. Um, please go to the YouTube page, like and subscribe. We're trying to get our likes and subscribers up. So help the show. Not just this interview, but there are several others. If you can't find it, hit me, DM me or whatever, and I'll send you the link or whatever. But we need them likes. We need them subscribers, So help a brother out, okay? On that note, I'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Be blessed. Stay safe. All right.